2 days shipping. It's revolutionized the way we shop, but it appears that speed is coming with some speed bumps for those delivery drivers.
5 on your side investigator Jonathan Walsh talks with workers out of Euclid who say they weren't getting paid.
I'm like, so what's going on here? She's looking like, I don't know.
Randy Huggins is fed up with getting no answers.
He's just ignoring our question. He's not answering us or anything like that.
Randy used to deliver packages for Impact Shipping Solutions, but he says the company had very few solutions for questions about pay problems.
Some people, they might go in for 3 days, but they might only get paid for 2. Some people might go in for 6 days, but they might only get paid for 2.
Impacts is a third-party vendor hired by Amazon to pick up boxes from warehouses and deliver them to your home. Randy was a driver for Impacts for months, including the 2018 holiday season. He showed us pay stubs he would get every Friday that he says didn't have the right pay.
This next check comes around. They short me a day on my check. It says 24 hours in the system. I got paid for 16.
Randy says he responded to an ad on the job site Indeed.com similar to this one that Impacts promises delivery drivers $140 to $160 a day.
Every Friday was a headache. That was one of my worst days of coming in.
Brian Hefner says he was a manager at Impacts during that holiday time. He tells us he had to try to handle people's payday problems.
When you look at them, like their taxes and then the hours that they work, it just doesn't add up with that 140.
Brian says it got so bad that another manager at the Euclid location handed out cash from his pocket or transferred money to workers through a cash app.
He would like forward them money saying like, oh, you just have to pay me back like a certain amount of weeks.
So all of that was sort of under the table then, huh?
Yes.
Is that right?
No, it's not right.
Brian says he would contact Impact's corporate offices in Atlanta trying to get answers.
And they wouldn't respond most of the time.
They wouldn't even respond to their
Correct.
own employees who were
Correct.
getting shorted.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you?
No. No, it does not.
How did you feel during that time?
I just felt really bad for the employees.
Meanwhile, don't just take Randy and Brian's word for it. We talked to people like Mary.
I felt I was betrayed. I was lied to. That's how I felt.
And Antonio.
One of the first issues that we had was pay.
In fact, a total of 9 people told us they worked for Impacts in Euclid. They had problems and they were ignored. Brian says some workers who quit would come back on Fridays to pick up their past checks, and he would answer those calls for Impacts.
No, I don't see no paycheck here, even though I sent information out to them saying, hey, this person is missing this day and this day and this day.
And we found these complaints on sites like Indeed from people who make similar claims at Impacts locations around the country. This person from Illinois recently writes, both corporate and management lie to the employees. I had a day missing off a check, and it's going on 3 weeks, and I'm still fighting to get my money from Impacts. Another in North Carolina, I can work the same hours every week, and my pay changes variously. And even this one from a year and a half ago in Texas writes, I have not gotten paid this past Friday. The Friday before, my check was short $120. In a late statement, Impact says in part, we are looking into these claims immediately and will take appropriate action. As for Randy, he's still trying to get answers as to why his thousands of dollars weren't there in time for Christmas as promised.
I wasn't able to buy my mother Christmas presents, my little sister, my girlfriend.
I'm 5 on your side investigator Jonathan Walsh.